Physical media man, physical media man, physical media man. What'd you buy? Was it something good?
What's up, guys? Physical Media Man back here again for another Physical Media Man Monday video. I have June movie reviews here with my lovely wife. She watched the majority of these, but not all of them, with me. So we're going to get her thoughts as well, see if she agrees with my scoring and whatnot. And yeah. So anyways, before I get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave feedback, do all that good stuff down below. I'll leave the links to my Instagram page, my Physical Media Man store Instagram page, my Facebook page for the non-media related items, the Hodgepodge Garage, my email, my eBay, my Twitter, and my Letterboxd account. So yeah, you can follow along with the Letterboxd account too. I've been slacking really bad on writing reviews and scoring, but you can see what I watched there if I don't post on Instagram. So yeah, you were gone for a week. You're a big fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Super happy I was gone for
Jean-Claude Van Damme! So I watched 3 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
He would call me and he would say, "Hey, I'm watching Jean-Claude." I'm like, "Good, go ahead. You know, get those out of the way."
Well, I figured I'd watch something that you weren't interested in.
No, it's perfect.
But they all ended up being pretty good, and they're all staying in the collection. So first up, I got a great deal on this one. Steelbook for $7, 4K. We got Jean-Claude and Dolph Lundgren and Universal Soldier. So it starts off in Vietnam, and right at the beginning of the movie, they both are killed, and it jumps to years later, and somehow they're alive and part of some military, not group, but like a military experiment type thing. But then some of them start remembering things, and actually all filmed in Arizona and Kingman, which we have gone to. And I thought this was pretty good. Better than I thought it was going to be. I thought Dolph Lundgren was really good in it. He kind of, spoiler alert, I guess, but plays the bad guy. And he's really good in that role in this one. So I'm going to give it a 2.5. But I did like it. I'm also going to give the next one I watched a 2.5, which is Death Warrant. So Universal Soldier came out in 1992. Death Warrant 1990. In this one, he's a police detective or a policeman, and there's a bunch of like murders going on, or somehow people are winding up dead in prison, in this certain prison, and they have him go undercover, and it's like a death warrant basically, but of course it's Jean-Claude. So it starred, I don't know if you can, the main the main boss in Sports Night.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's real good in this too. He's one of the people that's in prison with Jean-Claude and kind of helps him out. And this is a Scorpion releasing Blu-ray. I think I got this from Hamilton Book for like $5, but I'm gonna give it 2.5 as well. And like I said, I liked all Jean-Claude movies I watched, but I didn't want to score them too high. It's like Jean-Claude gets his own scale.
Yeah.
2.5 for Jean-Claude is pretty good. But this next one I'm going to give 3 stars. This is basically a Die Hard ripoff. We got Sudden Death. And in this one, he plays like a firefighter that he witnessed something where it really messed him up. And so now he's just like a fire inspector for... I don't know all the time, but in the movie, it takes place for Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals in Pittsburgh, with the Penguins playing the Blackhawks, I think. So he's the fire inspector there in the stadium, and this ex-CIA guy or FBI guy tries to take over the stadium. He's got bombs planted everywhere, and the vice president's there, and there's all this money. And the reason the guy knows about this is because he was CIA or FBI. He was part of like the counterfeit division or something along those lines. and he knows about this money that's been frozen for these other countries. Like, they don't have access to it, but somehow the United States is in control of it, so they're able to move it if the vice president like agrees to it or something. So somehow the vice president's able to, or he gets the president to do it, move all this money that's sitting there. But of course, John Claude, fire inspector, also martial artist, I guess, intervenes and takes control. But Powers Booth is the bad guy in this one. He's really good in it. He was one of the bad guys in Tombstone, but he's in a bunch of stuff, and he's real good in it. John Claude's good in this one, actually. I mean, he's always good. Giving it 3 stars. It just also recently got a Kino. I don't think I want to spend the $17 to upgrade, so I'll probably just stick with the Blu-ray, because I know you'll want to revisit it a lot. So. All right, so moving on. You've watched the rest of these with me. So. What do you think of those John Claudes? Does
Well,
that sound great?
Perfect John Claude movies that it's okay if I missed it. It's not the movie. Oh, sorry.
All right, so next up on Netflix, me, you, and your mom watched Hitman.
Oh, yes.
This was directed by Richard Linklater. Oh, Sudden Death, 1995 as well. I don't know why I wrote down all these years, but this one came out in 2023. I don't know if it's getting a physical release or if it has one yet, but Richard Linklater directing, who I'm a big fan of. Starring Glenn Powell. I messed this up on, I think, one of my other videos. I messed Glenn Powell and Drew Powell up. So yeah, Glenn Powell is the star of this one. It also has Rita, which I didn't realize that's just what her name is, who plays Donna in Parks and Rec. And it also has, I don't know how you pronounce her name, but it's Andrea Arjani or something like that. She's the main female lead. But Glenn Powell plays a professor. This is based on a true story. I guess it's the second story, I think, out of like some Houston or some Texas area publication that this writer wrote these stories about things that had happened in Texas. And this is like the second one that Linklater's made a movie about, that were in these like journals or whatever it was, written by the same guy. So Bernie was the other one. So this is Hitman, and it stars Glenn Powell. He's a professor. Is it psychology?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
And
yeah.
And he moonlights for the police department as a hitman. Well, eventually, when the movie starts, he does a bunch of like computer things.
He does like the research on like behind the scenes stuff, and then he's never the guy like involved, but then he gets involved because he has to. One of the guys gets fired or like is on leave, and I really like this one.
Yeah, it was very good. Glenn Powell's really good in it, and he like plays different characters. It really showed off his acting abilities. So I'm giving this one 3.5 stars. It's better than Sudden Death.
I'm glad he gave it more stars than the Jean Claude. Yes, very enjoyable. Good, like almost like a chick flick too, like a little bit of like love story involvement. So I liked that. Yeah. But action packed. My mom really enjoyed it too, so it was good.
All right. So next up, we watched Marty, the 1955 Best Picture winner. It won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Writing / Screenplay. So it follows, which Ernest, I'm not exactly sure how you say, Borgnine, I could be saying that wrong. It follows him. He's a 34-year-old Bronx butcher, and he's shy and comfortable around women, never thinks he's going to get married. He's tried. Everybody gives him a hard time. And of course, back then, not to be married at that age was craziness. And then he meets a girl named Clara, and she's somewhat in a similar situation, and she's a lonely school teacher. And it takes place over, I guess, maybe 2 days or 2 nights, just a couple days. And I liked this one quite a bit. I thought the dialogue was really good, and the performances were also pretty good. There were some funny moments. I'm going to give it a 3.5 as well.
I liked it, but I did fall asleep a little bit. But I always fall asleep on these older time movies because they get a little slow. They just get like extra long or something. But it was really good. I will say this was better than the other ones we had watched before. But I liked Hitman better. It was just more enjoyable. But this one, it wasn't bad. So that's how I put that.
You feel sorry for old.
Yeah, you do. You feel sorry for
Marty, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that one. Next up, which we thought you hadn't seen when we were picking it out, we got Pretty in Pink, part of the Paramount Presents line. And we're now pretty certain that we watched it together before this.
We think we have, but it's been like over 5 years, so I don't know.
So this one, 1986, of course has Molly Ringwald. You got John Cryer and Andrew McCarthy, who kind of spearheaded the new Hulu documentary, The Brats. So, which they're all kind of part of the Brat Pack. Really want to watch that here sometime soon. It's written by John Hughes, but not directed by John Hughes, which I think, personally, if I remember, I would say I like 16 Candles better, probably. Probably Weird Science better, and I'm pretty sure that he directed both of those. This one's directed by Howard, I'm not sure, Dutch or something like that. But the music's really good in this one. Harry Dean Stanton plays Molly Ringwald's dad. He's really good in it. So Molly Ringwald's kind of the main character, and Andrew McCarthy's really rich. Molly Ringwald's character's not, and he likes her. Who else? James Spader is Andrew McCarthy's friend. He's pretty good in it as a not likable character. Let's see. So Andrew McCarthy asks her to prom, but as their romance builds, it's threatened by the painful reality of peer pressure. So a high school, somewhat rom-com, I guess. John Cryer's pretty great in it. There's some pretty enjoyable scenes. Molly Ringwald's friend is pretty good. Annie Potts. She's really good in it too. But like I said, I like those other ones I mentioned better, but I'm going to give it 3 stars still. I'd probably just score those other ones higher than this one. So
yeah, I'm a big 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, that, Molly Ringwald, but it's still great. Yeah. It's still like a great coming of age story, like real life stuff, but made it fun. Yeah, Cryer's hilarious in it. He was really good, so it was good.
All right. So
I agree with the assessment, with the stars.
There we go. All right, next up we watched Crossroads, another 1986 film starring Ralph Macchio. Also has Joe Seneca, who plays Willie Brown, and Jamie Gertz, who plays the female lead. So Ralph Macchio is like a child prodigy musician. He's at Juilliard studying music, and he's obsessed with jazz music and the Robert Johnson story, and believes that at the crossroads, I guess, that the devil, he paid the devil to get his ability to play, or something along those lines. And there's this like hospital nearby that he thinks this guy that played Willie Brown, that played with Robert Johnson, would be able to take him there, and he'd be able to become even better than he already is. It was pretty enjoyable. I thought it was a good movie. It does have a Mill Creek Blu-ray release that I might try to pick up at some point if I can get it cheap, but definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it. I'm pretty sure another person in the YouTube movie community talked about this one, and that's where I heard about it and then went in and watched it, and yeah, we liked it, so I'm giving it 3 stars.
Oh, I would give it a little bit more.
Really?
on that one. Only because I'm like, okay, well, it was a great, like, again, storyline. There was fun, like, past about it. It was all about music. We love music. So that was kind of made it more enjoyable. I would do a little bit more. I would do 3.5 at least. Yeah. Yeah. Especially giving
Machio was really good.
Yeah, Machio was really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, like, for both of us to watch too. It wasn't just all men would only like it or something like that. So I would definitely give it more than that. I highly enjoyed it. Yeah. They kind of met in the middle. The crossroads, I think it was like you're signing away with the devil, but it was like the guy that was trying to steal their money from them, right? He was like, oh, they're great musicians, so I'm going to sign them so that I can help them with the, you know, their whole like thing. And then he wasn't this great guy. He wasn't helping them at all. He was just taking all their money. But it wasn't about that, you know. In the end, it was like, let's just play good blues music.
Yeah.
And show the world what we're made of. So that's kind of cool.
All right. Next up on, we didn't have a physical copy, but we watched Gran Turismo. It came out in 2023. And it was directed by Neil Blomkamp. I don't know if it's, which, I was gonna grab this before I started this video and I forgot about it. Oh, here it is. I got the set of the Blomkamp 3. So we got District 9, Chappie, and Elysium. So he directed all these. That's kind of what he's most known for so far, but he also directed this Gran Turismo that we watched. I thought it was very good. Orlando Bloom's in it.
Yeah.
He's in it, as well as, I was trying to blank on the guy from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I wrote everybody else's name down but his, because I figured I would remember his.
I don't know. I'm not good at names at all.
Oh, well.
You'll think of it.
Okay.
I'll talk
we'll
a little
come
bit
back
about
to
it.
that.
Because I really like this one. And I see you only gave it 3 stars only? Okay. No, that's wrong too. I thought it was really good. It's about the video game, Gran Turismo, and it's based on a true story that they brought these kids that could play the video game and put them in real life, put them in the race cars, had them do the race. And they said, you know, it couldn't be done. They weren't real race car drivers, but they've logged all these hours on this racing game. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. Plus, I really like the guy that plays in Stranger Things. I can't remember his name. That's terrible.
Gosh,
We're going to have to pull it up. That's going to bug me, too. Anyway, he was awesome. And so was Orlando Bloom. We were watching it and we're like, oh, it's Orlando Bloom. We haven't seen him in something for a while. So it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, and then Jan Mardenborough is the real life guy and the main character of the movie. He's played by, my writing's so small here I can't read it. He's somewhat of a newcomer. I hadn't recognized him before, but he does an excellent job. There was also that.
We have to pause this.
The guy from Never Back Down. He plays John's dad. He's really good in it too. Mm-hmm. Oh man, what is that guy's name? Okay, well, we'll come back to that. Like I said, I gave it 3 stars. You'd give it more, 3.5 or 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave it 4.
All right. And then lastly, we went to the movie theater. Hadn't been in a long time. Us and then friend of the show, Cooper, we all went and watched The Bike Riders. I thought this one was really good. Probably the best movie that I think I watched in June. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but this one was actually a 2023 movie, but it's 2024 now. It was part of the Disney 20th Century Fox merger, I think, and the movie was completed and Disney didn't know what to do with it. They didn't really want it, I guess, so it ended up being a Focus Features film, but really good. Jeff Nichols directed it, and he has worked with Michael Shannon quite a bit, so this is like their 5th or 8th time together. Michael Shannon's fantastic in it. He's kind of a supporting character. Main people in it are Austin Butler from Elvis and other things. He's really good. He plays Benny, the main character, and then Tom Hardy plays the other main character, Benny and
Johnny,
yeah. And then Jodie Comer, if I'm saying her name correctly, she plays Kathy, and she was excellent too.
She was my favorite. She was badass. Oops, can I say that on here? You're gonna have to bleep me out.
Yeah, we don't cuss
Sorry.
on here.
Well, anyway, she was awesome. The whole movie was like intense like that, though, right? Like it's about bike riders, so they're all
so
rough and
it's
tumble
like,
and
late 60s, early 70s, right?
music was so good.
Yeah, so starts out as Johnny. He is in like a bike racing group and decides to make up his own like bike gang. Club. Called the Vandals, and Benny's like one of the main guys starting out, and it kind of, they always meet at this bar after work or don't work, and that's where they meet, and it just kind of shows the few years after that starting and like how the group changes along the way. It's based on a book, and Mike Feist, I'm not sure how you say his name, but the guy that plays the writer in the movie, because in the beginning of the movie it starts out he's interviewing Kathy, and this is like taking place after all of the events. I thought he did an excellent job as well. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, he's like taking pictures of all of them and he's writing a book about them. So it was cool how the story was told. It was told like as an interview, but then they'd flash to like the real scenes of things happening, and it was really interesting.
Yeah, and it was shot really well, and another one with really good dialogue, and I thought it was a really good movie. I'm giving it 4 stars.
Woo. Okay, yeah, totally agree. Love it. I loved it. It was so good. I love me some Tom Hardy, but their accent's really fun. They're from like Chicago. It was really heavy, thick accents, and they're just guys that they went against the grain, right? They weren't necessarily bad people at all. They just didn't want to follow rules, and then they decided they wanted in this bike club, and it was kind of rebels, and they'd fight and drink and smoke all the time. It's just kind of like their life and how it was back in the day. So it was fun to watch, and then how it changed through the years and how it got bad rap kind of as time went on. So
yeah. All right, so that is all we watched for the month of June. I definitely recommend Sudden Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Hitman, Marty, Pretty in Pink, of course, Crossroads, Gran Turismo, and The Bike Riders. We watched a lot of good things this month. Nothing that I would say
I was actually very happy with
so.
the month of June. We need to get more in though.
That was pretty good for us the last few months. It was a pretty solid month. Of course, my 3 movies in the 1 week helped out. So.
Yeah. It's tough with the kiddos.
Yeah. All right, so hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed my great guest here. And if you haven't yet done so, please make sure to subscribe. So this is Physical Media Man signing off. Physical Media will never die. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Yeah!